Well, hey, welcome back to the North Florida Sports Network.
All right, FSU Miami. We got FSU recruiting coordinator, analyst for the network, Jimmy Reno. We got Miami contributor, Justin. We got them both on the line. It's a big week. My rivalry.
Canes up in here.
Yeah, we got a cane up in here. So
Yeah, we got at least one.
Miami. Got one cane.
Miami week.
Miami week. Big game. The spread's 2 touchdowns. It's at 3:30. We'll start with you, Jimmy. How does FSU look in terms of health at the wide receiver position?
I mean, I think everybody's back or should be back. The question is going to be Johnny Wilson. Personally, I don't think he's going to play for the rest of the season.
Oh wow!
I think he's had 2 concussions. I think they're just going to. I don't know. That's the pessimistic take on it. But
hold on. Are you saying that you don't know and you're speculating?
Speculating. That grain of salt, man. That hot speculation.
All right. Well, so you think he has 2?
I think he's had 2 concussions. I think both injuries that he's had have been concussions, man. I mean, he's walked off the field under his own power, but he's just looked shell-shocked.
That's not what you want to hear, because I think he has the most chemistry with Jordan Travis of all the receivers.
Yeah.
And he seems to be, like I said last time, the guy that Jordan looks for.
Yeah, he's that security blanket.
Yeah, security blanket. Comfort blanket.
Comfort blanket. But I think Coleman will be back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Justin. What about the running backs for Miami?
I actually got some great news on that for Canes fans yesterday. Parrish, Chaney, and A.J. Allen are all back healthy for the game tomorrow. Plus, we saw what the freshman Fletcher can do last week in a loss.
Right.
I mean, we got running backs like freaking Nebraska in the 90s right now.
I don't think anybody knows, and I wouldn't tell anyone either if I was either of the coaches. But what do you think? Do you think who starts at quarterback at 3:30 if you had to guess?
If I'm guessing from a Mario Cristobal prism, then TVD starts.
Okay.
If I'm looking through a prism of any reasonable person that understands football whatsoever, then it's Emory Williams.
Right.
So that means TVD will start.
Well, I agree. If you're Miami, what you want to run the ball, don't throw it too much. Try to control the clock. I think you get the young guy in there.
Yeah.
You just talked about the running backs being healthy. What do you think, Jimmy?
I would agree with you, man. Just looking at Florida State on how you can have success against the defense. Teams have been able to run against us. Now it hasn't been for like 200, 300 yards, but again, like if there's a way that you're going to attack it, throw stable running backs with that big, powerful offensive line, lean on them, take your shots with a younger quarterback. I think that would, that seems to fit the strength of what Miami's trying to do in a way that they can have success against Florida State's defense.
Offense looked terrible last week. Miami's did.
It was Van Dyke.
What's going on?
Van Dyke, man.
Van Dyke, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all Van Dyke, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a regression in a quarterback like this maybe ever.
Yeah, it is.
When he's good, he looks like he gets people talking about first pick in the draft, first number. Like I remember when he was talking about first round a couple years ago.
Well, they were even as
like Todd McShay,
even as recently as after they played Texas A&M.
Right, because he looked sharp in that game.
Phenomenal.
And he's got a rifle cannon for an arm.
Yeah, and it just, he torched him. That was an NFL performance what he did against Texas A&M. And Justin's right, dude. I don't understand the regression. I don't know what's happening, but he's clearly like that NC State game. Anybody else at quarterback that can just be serviceable, and Miami's walking out of there with the W. Hard-earned W, but it's a W. I look for, maybe Van Dyke to start, but definitely Emory Williams to get in there. And I wouldn't rule out Ja'Cory Brown. I know that there's been the talk that he's going to redshirt, but, this seems like a game that, to have some packages for him would probably not be a horrible idea.
Let's go to let's go to the other side of the ball. Florida State's offense. What's gonna be the plan to go after this freak on defense, Ruben Baines? Because this guy's a monster.
Yeah, you got to figure out how to block him. I don't think we faced a defensive lineman.
The NC State coach Dave Doran said he hasn't seen a freshman like this. I don't know if he can remember.
No, I mean you haven't really seen one in the ACC in terms of on the defensive line.
He's a true freshman.
Yeah.
That's oh my goodness.
I mean you've seen guys like him in Alabama and Georgia in the past, but this dude is for real, man.
Yeah.
But even at places like Alabama, you don't see true freshmen.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
On the defensive line.
This is like a Derwin James type of guy, right?
Yeah.
Because that was like, I remember seeing him as a true freshman at Florida State, and he was like, oh my God, this guy's throwing offensive tackles.
Yeah.
And he's a safety. And that's the kind of.
You look at Bain, and he does not look like a true freshman physically.
No.
He doesn't play like a true freshman.
Right.
This is a kid that's on that 3-year plan, and he'll be playing on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Miami's defense has actually been much improved this season.
Yeah, world's better, man. They just, I know Kevin Steele has a good reputation for being a coach for 60 years, but I mean, it's just night and day when you watch Miami. The defense actually looks like they know what they're doing. Last year was just, I don't know what the hell was going on. But yeah, this defense is scary, man. You know, they've lost games, but it hasn't been because of the defense. You got to figure out a way to block Bain. It starts right there.
Right.
And there's other guys on that defensive line, man. Other dudes that are going to give you problems. So
yeah.
If you're going to contain Ruben Bain on the line, then we will know the names of these other defensive linemen.
Yeah.
It's going to take 3 guys to block him.
Yeah.
All right, let's ask you, Justin, what scares you the most about Florida State on either side of the ball? What's one matchup in particular? We talked about Baines or Miami. What's a guy for FSU that has you worried?
Honestly, and I mean, this kind of seems like a cop-out, but I'll explain why this is what I'm scared the most of, is Jordan Travis.
That's a great answer. I mean,
well, what Miami does well on defense is we get after the quarterback.
Right.
And what Jordan Travis might be the best in the country at is making plays while he's scrambling, when the pocket collapses, finding lanes to run through and finding lanes to throw through. And with our uber aggressive pass rush, those lanes are going to be there for Jordan Travis. I wouldn't be surprised if Travis runs for over 100 yards.
Yeah, I agree. He needs, when he's been able to run it a little more lately. You saw it in the Duke game when they needed it on that long drive. They went to it. That will be key.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the difference in close situations, close games, him starting to use his legs. I think I'll echo what Justin said. I think the only way Florida State can win this game is if Jordan Travis does stuff with his legs.
Here Jimmy is. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, man.
Scared Jimmy. He's getting nervous.
It's a rivalry.
This guy, oh my gosh, Justin, he's got PTSD sports-wise from
tell me, man, your
childhood.
Your first game as a kid is the 1987 game when they missed the 2-point conversion and lose by 1 point to Miami. Like, that's it. That's your
None of these kids know anything about that.
Yeah, I know. They're not old guys like I am, but I think 14 points is way too high for a spread.
Well, if you look at the, NC State just beat Miami by 14.
Yeah, whatever.
And you're about to go on the road to the number 4 team. I think it's a fair spread. Now, I agree with you. I agree with the rivalry game because that Miami, FSU, these guys know each other.
Yeah,
they grew up, most of the guys in this team grew up playing high school football against each other. So this is going to be a different type of game, a different type of preparation for it. So yes, I get all that.
Well, you say rivalry game, and let's there's rivalry games like Kentucky and Louisville is a rivalry game, right? Mm-hmm. This is a different rivalry game. This is
the best rivalry game in the country.
Yeah, this is, this defined college football for an entire decade. This game right here,
right?
So, yeah, it's hard to go in there feeling like either team is going to kick. And it's really, history shows that Florida State does not typically blow Miami out in Doak Campbell.
Well, if you think about Miami, for instance, this season, it started out good 4-0, and then one of the worst buffoon plays of all time. I mean, coaching decisions of all time happens, and we kind of lost the team, really. And this would be an ultimate, like, we're back, everything's okay. With all the recruits there, this is a huge game for momentum, reputation. Where are you going to go in a couple of years?
Right. You know, there's going to be over 200 recruits in attendance, like well over 50 blue chips, and not all of them are coming up with the focus on Florida State. You know, there's plenty of guys that are coming up there to see Miami.
Yeah.
So this is huge for both schools. You know, and you know, they had that Georgia Tech game that was what it was. But they managed to beat Clemson in Miami.
Right.
For me, that was like, you know, all right, you kicked off the king.
It's almost like going on the road, winning at home.
Yeah, but I think the biggest thing for Miami has been Tyler Van Dyke's regression.
Yeah.
I don't think that, you know, I think they'd be coming in here hot, top 15 team at least.
Right. If they won last week, it would have been a primetime matchup.
Oh, yeah.
They want to do this game. It's going to draw. If Miami would have been ranked if they won last week. So,
and I'm serious. Like, the only thing keeping that from happening has been the quarterback play.
Right. And you see the talent. You know, this team has the talent to beat you.
Oh, yeah.
That's you know, but are they going to get in their own way? Or can Florida State, you know, cause some turnovers? It's going to, you know, I expect there to be a ruckus crowd. You know, FSU is really
going to be nuts.
Yeah, FSU, the home fans have really come this year. And but I think honestly, Miami has its best chance here. For some reason, FSU just dominated down there on another level, except for when Diaz. That was just last year, but
yeah, I mean, it's just typically the game in Doak.
Yeah,
is the wild one. Now, you know, the old school Orange Bowl had some.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Oh man, why did you want to go with a low blow and bring up the OB, man?
No, it's a low blow if I was going to say, hey, Virginia closed you down there and with a shutout. But but when you think about that, I mean, there's two wide rights in the OB.
Yeah, I don't even think about it.
All right, that's the Orange Bowl. That's what I think about.
The old school.
Oh, that one of those wide rights in the OB.
The third one.
Third one, baby.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Yeah, it did.
Because that was kind of like FSU is kind of like Miami is this year. You know, like they're wounded. They have the talent. Florida State's near the top of the rankings, undefeated. People are they're already in the ACC championship. Of course, you know, the way you structure the playoffs and everything has changed, but you still have the talent. Like, come in, no one thinks you're going to win, and have a lead, and then just have a kick to win it, and you miss it.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't come down to anything like that. I think FSU fans just don't want it to be close.
I'd love it to come down to a kick.
Oh, yeah.
Miami's kicker. Well, dude, Miami's kicker's got a leg from like 65.
Yeah.
That
like our kicker is actually a weapon right now. Like,
right. Well,
that's the younger.
Both kickers, right? Both kickers, good. Fitzgerald has been put up for Lou Groza. I mean, talk about a 180. You know, he's only missed one kick all year.
Yeah, shout out to the Lou Groza Foundation for announcing that this week.
Oh,
he couldn't wait a week.
Right.
An extra point.
Well, I'm glad he got the miss out of his way at Wake, because if he hadn't missed yet, oh my goodness, can you imagine? That would all they'd be talking about on every play.
Oh, you know, the first field goal he lines up for, they're gonna do a flashback on TV. And
yeah. I mean, it's yes. You have to move on. I mean, maybe they'll show the block at the Rock or the muff. You know.
Oh, how was that the block at the Rock?
Yeah, you know. So it's not. It's what they're just not as like the dramatic as the kick missing, because it's only on that one kicker. Then because like if it's FSU hitting a block when both teams aren't number 1 and 2, no one's going to remember that. Except for FSU fans, I always remember that.
Well, this game, man, like it's going to be insane. I don't think anybody's had more recruits at a game all season this year than these two teams are bringing.
It's insane.
Like I said, man, it's just as much because Miami's coming to town as anything else. You know, this is the game that Tallahassee just pretty much shuts itself down.
Right, and I have a wedding to go to.
I'm gonna be in Tampa.
The hell.
Yeah.
I'm going to be at my house with my 2 TVs set up
Yeah.
drinking beer.
Yeah.
I will be watching. I'm excited. What do you think if you had to gamble on this game, Justin? Where are you putting your money?
If I'm placing a bet, I bet on the Canes cover. I think that's a pretty safe bet with a 2 touchdown spread.
Right.
God forbid the money comes in on FSU and you get that hook.
Well, that went down a little bit. There was a hook when it opened, and it's gone down a little bit. It's gone down 2.14, and I've seen 13.5 in a couple spots.
Yeah, at 13.5, I bet FSU.
Right. You know, Jimmy, he said he's got that same. He says Florida State wins, and it's like, no, not close one. I think FSU wins by 17. I think it's going to be close, but I think in the second half they will get the lead in the fourth quarter. The crowd, it'll start getting dark. Prime time.
The crystal ball will panic and make some idiot coaching decisions, looking constipated on the sidelines.
I'm gonna say the complete opposite, man. I'm gonna say if it's close late in the game, we are in some trouble.
Have you seen Cristobal's late game coaching?
I have. That's one thing.
You're all right, Jimmy. You got to take everything he's saying about this game. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel the tension. In him. He's nervous already, man.
It's this game, man. It's Miami.
Yeah.
There's nobody.
Every time you're nervous, just Google image search Cristobal on the sidelines looking constipated.
Bro, well, what is
It'll
it?
make you feel better.
I know you don't feel confident, but you will, and Miami fans will when about 3 o'clock rolls around, 3:15, getting close. What is cocky fan Justin? What's he going to be saying around that time?
Cocky Canes fan is going to be saying that we put 300 up on the ground. Emory Williams is a breakout star. Cam Kinchins gets 2 interceptions. James Williams knocks Keon Coleman out of the game on a slant over the middle, and Reuben Bain breaks Jordan Travis's collarbone, and the Canes win by 3 touchdowns.
There you go.
No.
You wanted cocky.
That's going to be real. That's going to be real, and that's what every Canes fan is like, no matter the record.
Hey, you know what? That's a lot like scared Jimmy Reno fan. Just thinking the same thing. Oh, God damn it. They're going to run for 300 yards. They're going to break Jordan Travis' collarbone.
What's really crazy is that my cocky Canes fan breakdown right there, it actually could happen.
Well, yeah, anything could happen, man. I mean, yes, like we said, Miami's got the talent. Florida State does too. I think the resiliency that this Florida State team has shown all year, that I don't see that happening. Not saying that they can't lose this game, but if Miami wins this game, they're going to play they're not going to turn the ball over, and they're going to play their best game of the year, and they're going to put it all together, and it'll be a war.
Yeah.
That's the way they have to play up to their potential and hope they get Jordan Travis to turn the ball over. That's the difference. He's not turning the ball over. That's what makes him the player that he is now. That's why he's up for the Heisman. That's why he's going to be in New York if they win out.
That's why Florida State's been able to win a couple of games that they've started, the Boston College game.
You can't drop him either. He's thrown a couple where the other team didn't catch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Kinchins will make that catch.
You got it. You got to take them if they give them to you. But that's been the difference. I think whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game.
If I'm Cristobal, what I do all week, I just show the first half of the Pitt game and say, we need to emulate this. We need to dominate the line of scrimmage. We need to run the ball. We need to keep FSU's offense off the goddamn field. And we need to not turn it over. If we can do that, we will be in that ball game down the stretch.
Yeah, and that's what you
all you
want.
can ask for.
That's what you're asking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is really funny because like all my diehard FSU fans think I'm a weird Miami fan because I would take the block at the Rock. I would take the TVD spike from a couple years ago. I would take those kind of games in a Miami loss over a blowout either way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Either way, man. Even a Miami blowout, though? A Miami blowout at Doak?
No way, dude.
No,
You have a picture right now on your profile of Kane urinating on a Florida State. So, okay.
yes, but you know what? I also turned off the 52-10 game halfway through the third quarter.
That's true.
Yeah.
But man,
But that was, man.
I didn't turn that off last year.
Give me a close game with my butthole puckered until the end, man.
Of course, because and history shows it's all going to be dramatically won by Miami, except for I guess you were at the Block of the Rock, so.
Yeah.
And I was at the TVD Spike game here in Doak, so I've been at two of the Miami losing it at the end games also.
I forgot all about that spike.
Oh, not me, man. My daughter still complains about it. Says that FSU cheated.
Well, we got to get on out of here. Our ride's here, but man, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it is.
It always is. It'll be memorable.
I mean, I don't think there's going to be a bigger game in the Southeast in terms of recruits.
Well, if you look at the numbers, I mean, who are we talking about? Who are some of the big names?
I could run down the list. The biggest one, Jeremiah Smith, best player in the country at the high school ranks, wide receiver committed to Ohio State. He's out of Madonna, Hollywood, Chaminade, down there in Broward County. Right now, FSU and Miami are battling to be that second place team in his recruitment. Should Hartline leave Ohio State, that opens up that avenue to sign the kid. But I mean, you start there and you just run down the list of 5 stars, 4 stars, and 25 class, 26 class. I mean, anybody who's anybody in the state of Florida is coming up to watch this game. And like I said, it's not just for Florida State, man. Miami's got a ton of kids there that come here and have eyes on them. So it's huge, man. This is.
That's what's really awesome about all these recruits showing up for both teams.
Yeah,
is it's not just old heads like us that are obsessed with Miami and Florida State. It looks like the younger kids are starting to get in on it.
Get in there, and they're starting to see what it's all about. And it, like, whenever this game happens, I always just take a little moment to kind of chuckle at Florida, because for some reason they just continue to refuse to try to get into that kind of game, man. They just won't play Miami, and I just like, dude,
they're thick and shit, man.
They're more worried about maintaining whatever kind of false sense of superiority they have in the SEC than actual, showing these kids that, like, hey, this is state of Florida football, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's big time. I think
I voluntarily live in Tallahassee, and you couldn't pay me to live in Gainesville.
Oh God, no.
Well, playing both of them is special. Florida State, you can say, hey, we're in the ACC championship, but if you lose to Miami or Florida, there's a lot of people who say it was a failed season.
Oh man, that's what's so crazy, dude. Is Norvell has got it 9-0, but dude, you have the two biggest
Miami
games in
fans
your season
that if
left.
they win this game, I know they're going to be like success.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see how it goes out.
They should, man.
We'll watch it. We'll react to it. And we'll talk to you next time right here on the North Florida Sports Network.
Let's go, Kane.
Oh, man.
Let's go. Our ride is here. We got a shuttle.
Go Knowles.